The American dream is more attainable today than ever before. I promise you that.
Welcome to the Bedros Keuilian Show.
The American dream, as you know it, is dead. Hey, my name is Bedros Keuilian. Welcome to the Bedros Keuilian Show. Today, I've got a sad story to tell you. That sad story is that the American dream is dead. However, I do want to let you know that the new American dream is alive and well. I'm going to tell you exactly how you can achieve it. But first, we have to define what the American dream was. We have to define what the new American dream is. And we have to define on the lies and bullshit that you have been sold through propaganda, big media, and of course, big government. So the American dream, fine friends, used to be what your parents and grandparents might have told you, right? At least this is what they were fed through propaganda. And yes, it was through propaganda that, you know what, you can work in a factory, work in a company, and dad can go work and make enough money to buy a house, to have 2 kids and a dog, and to be able to save money for the future in terms of retirement. And the wifey could stay home and she could be the caretaker of the children and a house maker, if you will, and go on your vacations. And the cost of living would not cripple you like it is today. And those things may have been true post-World War II, in the 40s, in the 50s, even into the mid-60s. However, that is no longer the truth. And so when you think about the American dream and you're like, all right, I think I can achieve the American dream, and it's to own a house and to be a single income household where still, you know, your wife could stay home or raise the kids, it probably ain't going to happen. In fact, statistically, I know it's not going to happen because I'm going to tell you right now, over 62% of Americans do not make enough money to live in a state that has the lowest cost of living, which is Mississippi. Mississippi, not shocked that they would have a low cost of living. No offense to anyone out there in Mississippi, but I'm going to tell you right now, you wouldn't find me dead living in Mississippi. But even at $100,000, so if you and your spouse together made $100,000, you still couldn't get into a state like Mississippi and be able to buy a home, have 2 kids, a dog, go on 1 vacation a year, and still put enough money away to secure your retirement. That's a fact, by the way. That is a fact. You can research that, right? So never mind states like on the coasts, on the East Coast, West Coast, et cetera, or even in the Midwest. So what do you need? You need about $220,000 to $250,000 to make it in most states with that American dream vision in place. However, maybe the American dream today is different. And people who think that the American dream is dead, it's really not. You can ask any immigrant. I mean, go look at the border. Go look at the California, Mexico, California, Arizona, California, Texas border, and you will see tens of thousands of people trying to get into this country, mostly illegally. That's the problem of the administration we're dealing with today, but some trying to get in legally like I did. In 1980, my family and I came to the United States with the American dream as our target, the hope. Now, to me, to an immigrant, the American dream is more than just having a house and a family and a car and a vacation and put away for retirement. The American dream for me was I had big goals. I had a big vision, and I wanted to achieve absolute savagery. I wanted to achieve absolute dominance of my mind's vision, the dream that lived in my head and my heart. And for that to happen, the only place that could happen was the United States. When we escaped the Soviet Union, there was no way we could live in a communist country and achieve the goals and dreams that I had set out for myself. So my mom and dad made the decision and took the risk for us to escape. And of all the different countries available to them, they chose the United States because even in 1980, they knew that this American dream, which, by the way, there's people all over the world who are trying to live the American dream in their own countries, and there are plenty of people that are doing it. But the most available opportunity for the American dream is here in the United States, which is why everyone is trying to escape whatever country they're in. And don't for a moment think that people are just trying to escape third world countries to come to the United States for the opportunity and freedom. There's people coming from modernized countries, UK, Europe, Canada. I know of 5 people in the last 2 years, 5 people that have left Canada who have come to the United States. And I know of 2 other people who are currently in the process of leaving Canada, a very modern country, to come to the United States for the single fact that they have the freedom and opportunity to make more money and to make the decisions that they want to make for them and their families without the meddling of big daddy government. So if the American dream as we knew it, or as we were told about it, is dead, what is the new American dream? I want to let you guys know that the new American dream exists. The problem is no one has told you guys. See, oftentimes when something happens, like when the housing market crashed in 2008, there were people in 2005, 6, and 7 who saw this coming, who were already talking about it. Go watch the movie The Big Short. It's based on facts and reality. The movie The Big Short is specifically based on the 2008 housing market crash. And there was a dude who predicted this, who went to all of the different banks and said, a giant financial bubble is about to burst in the housing market, and you guys as banks are going to be toast. All the bankers, all of Wall Street told them to go fuck off. They knew it, but they were too busy making money on the backs of people like us, right? And they were hoping and counting on the fact that actually ended up coming true, which is government will end up bailing them out. If you're old enough to remember what happened in 2008, 9, and 10 as the housing market crashed, people were kicked out of their homes, interest rates went up, and people couldn't afford their mortgages. These banks all of a sudden were foreclosing on homes left and right, and banks are not in the business of owning homes. Banks are in the business of loaning money. But as those interest rates went up, all of a sudden, the banks found themselves running out of money. And they went to the government, and the government did exactly what they thought they would do, which is bail them out. But I share this with you because there's always pre-indicators of a market crash. There's always pre-indicators of something changing. Look at how we're living now. Since 2020, we all see this level of pessimism that exists across our country. Our country is more divided than ever in terms of left and right, in terms of liberals and conservatives. It's more divided than ever. People are more broke than ever. Debt is as highest it's ever been. 81% of the money that is in current circulation today was printed in the last 4 years. Let me say that again. 81% of American money that is in circulation today was printed in the last 4 years, hence driving the cost of everything: groceries, gasoline, automobiles, electricity, your water bill. Everything has gone through the roof. Your rent, your mortgage, interest rates, cost of all goods, shoes, hats, shirts, right? Yet your income has not caught up to the rate of inflation. So you're making the same amount of money that you were, but you're having to spend a lot more. And there is no way you or your wife together can accomplish the American dream. But the new American dream is being accomplished by tens of thousands of people, and I want to let you in on it. Because my son and daughter are already starting to create their American dream. And what does that new American dream look like? Well, here's what I know. As I talk to more and more millennials and generations that are younger than millennials, I realize the things that they value are the things that I valued when I created my companies and when I wanted to create financial freedom for myself. I wanted freedom. I wanted a high level of freedom, for example. I wanted the ability to, if I don't have to work for a period of time, for my income to not change. Think about the old American dream. the guy who was maybe an accountant or a bookkeeper or worked at a factory turning a wrench on the GM, assembly line or the Ford assembly line, yeah, you're making good money, good enough money for middle income. But if that guy's like, for the next few months, I think I'm going to work 30 hours a week instead of 40 hours a week, his income is going to be cut. I wanted to have freedom in terms of financial freedom. I wanted to have freedom to travel. I wanted to have freedom to live wherever I wanted. I wanted to have freedom in a way that I could slow down my effort in work for a period of time if I want and go on an extended vacation or take a little break in the summertime without my income fluctuating inconsistently, right? That is what the new American dream is. It's financial freedom and the ability to make money and be able to do the things you want without being locked into a workstation, a assembly line, a cubicle, a whatever, right? And you might be like, well, wait a minute. If I don't work for a big company, how am I going to get there? Gone are the days where you work for a big company and you will be there for 20, 25 years and end up retiring with a 401k that's going to set you up during your retirement years. These days, the average person maintains a job, a career, for probably about 7 years. And then you're on to the next one. You're on to the next one. The reason this happens is businesses will downsize, they will consolidate, they will go offshore, they will do all these things that end up cutting your position, right? We've outsourced your job to somewhere else. Or we just got bought out by another company and that company already has the roles and responsibilities that you're doing. So we're going to have to see you later. So you're going to have to go get another career. So you're starting from zero again. And so if that is your idea of the American dream, that dream is dead, as I'm telling you. But if your idea of the new American dream is I want freedom, I want to make money, and I want that money to not fluctuate even if I travel, take some time off, then there is a way to do it. I'm going to share that with you guys. Quick interruption to the show. Let me tell you all about the Trulian Wellness Shot. If you're like me and you care about your health, hydration, and building a strong immune system so you can stay active and you can get after it in life, then you want to try the Trulian Wellness Shot. I used to take 11 different supplements in the morning, things like vitamin C, vitamin D, vitamin B12, echinacea, ginger, and a whole bunch more. Now it's all included in the Trulian Wellness Shot. I want to send you a 30-day supply for 50% off. Just go to Trulian.com, use the code word Bedros, my name, to get 50% off. You'll also get free shipping. You get a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee, and $1 of every order goes to Shriners Children's Hospital. And when you use the code word Bedros and do the subscribe and save, which is a Trulian Tribe program, every month you'll get a fresh supply of Trulian Wellness Shots for an additional 20% off and free shipping, and $1 of every monthly order will go to Shriners Children's Hospital. So go to Trulian.com, use code word Bedros, and take advantage of this amazing offer. Now back to the show. Enter colleges. Colleges, universities are the biggest scam on the planet. The college tuition has gone up year after year after year. When you compare it to the rate of increase in income, it is increasing. College tuition is increasing 300% faster than income, right? So how are you going to go to college, get the education and a degree, and work in the field to pay off your college debt that is compounded by massive interest? You're going to do this for what? The next 15, 20, 30 years? Pay off your college debt? When 85% of people that come out of college with a degree don't even work in the industry that that degree is for. I'm not saying college or university is a waste of time. I'm saying, look, if you are a doctor, an engineer, you want to be a lawyer, an architect, you're going to have to go to higher education. But most of you out there taking liberal arts and sociology and business classes, and you want to get a marketing degree, you think university or higher education is going to give you something that is going to allow you to market yourself to get the kind of salary that will justify the amount of money you spent and the debt that you got into? See, universities and colleges are the biggest scam right now. Those days are gone because today the economy, information is changing so quickly because of the internet. And all of this information you can find, you can make yourself more marketable, you can make yourself more lucrative to a potential company by developing skills that you can find education for free on YouTube. Yet you've been conditioned by mom and dad to keep going to college, get in debt, pay that debt off over time, and see if you can somehow live the American dream of getting that house with a white picket fence, a car, spouse, kids, dog, still save up for the future. You can't. And this is why we have the gig economy. The gig economy is where people who think that they were going to live the old American dream come to the conclusion that they can't, and now they're driving for Grubhub, Uber Eats, Lyft, Uber. They're doing all these side gigs in addition to their careers because they're realizing that not only do me and my spouse have to work, but each of us need another side gig or two to make ends meet. You shouldn't have to live that way. But there is a solution. The solution is this. One, you have to understand that today's new American dream is all about having multiple income streams. Number two, you have to embrace and fall in love with social media in terms of a marketing platform. Marketing yourself to grow your personal brand, marketing your product or service to grow your business or businesses. And then you have to understand that owning a home for you to live in is not as important and valuable as it was back in the 40s, 50s, and 60s. Today, I would rather rent the home that I'm living in and own multiple apartments and rental properties and commercial properties that I can get cash flow from by putting in tenants. Those tenants will pay off my mortgage, give me cash flow on top of that, and appreciation will drive the value of those homes higher. And if I have a problem with my rental apartment or my rental home, I just call the landlord. I don't have to schlep around with the lawnmower. Now understand, because you might be like, well, B, I know you own your own home. I do. And I've put myself in a different category of life where I can own my own home, and I do own other homes and properties and a ranch and industrial buildings and commercial buildings because I've worked hard enough to get there. I knew the value of creating multiple income streams. And so I created companies that made money, and instead of living a flashy life with that money that came in, I reinvested in cryptocurrency. I reinvested in real estate properties, both commercial and residential. I reinvested in putting my money to work by investing and taking equity in other companies that we can build and sell. And so I've created multiple income streams for me. I've put in leaders in place where I can travel, take time off, enjoy life, and not see a change in my financial position. You can create this for yourself on a micro level. If you're like, well, that only happens with you rich guys, let me remind you again that I'm an immigrant. I'm a foreigner to this country. I came with exactly $0 to this country, lived in Section 8 housing, didn't speak English, didn't understand the culture, grew up trying to figure it out, knew that I wanted to be wealthy and financially free, but had to figure out and learn that, oh shit, I need multiple income streams. I need to diversify my income streams. Comes from franchising, comes from supplement sales, comes from Fuel Hunt. My income streams come from the cryptocurrency and the stock market that I've invested in, from my tenants paying rent in the residential and commercial buildings that I own, right? And my products and services being sold in different industries, supplements, software. You can start there today. It starts with you learning this now from this episode instead of learning it the hard way like I did. Because if you're in your 20s and 30s and you have a job right now and you're like, fuck man, I can't make it happen. I'm going to have to go and work a gig somewhere. I'm going to have to do Uber. I'm going to have to drive for Grubhub. I'm going to go have to work for security somewhere. Well, that's one option. Or you can tighten your belt and do the best you can to live off that one income stream for now. And if you have an idea for a product or service, you can start using YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook to grow your personal brand. And as you grow your personal brand, what ends up happening is you build the know, like, and trust factor. And when you build that know, like, and trust factor with a large audience, they will start buying whatever it is that you're selling. Products, services, endorsements of other people's products. Think how many creators there are on YouTube. As you're watching this right now, if you don't have that premium YouTube service, you're probably going to see an ad on here. Well, when YouTube runs that ad and someone clicks on that ad, whatever company that is sponsoring that ad gives that money to YouTube, and YouTube splits part of it with me and all the other creators. So if you're like, hey, I don't have a product or a business idea, but I am funny, I am entertaining, I do good storytelling, or I can just rant about pop culture or current events or whatever it is. I know a dude who does knife reviews, like pocket knife reviews. He's got 1.7 million subscribers on his YouTube channel. With 1.7 million subscribers on his YouTube channel doing knife reviews. He doesn't own a knife company, guys. He simply does pocket knife, EDC reviews. 1.7 million subscribers, and he makes $120,000 a month from YouTube. Those ads that are running. On top of that, he makes an additional $60,000 a month through sponsorship. So if he's got 1.7 million subscribers, the people that watch his knife reviews know him, like him, trust him. So if he's promoting a energy drink on there, if he's promoting a supplement line, if he's promoting a software service, if he's promoting a whatever, he's getting paid as an ambassador, as a sponsor, right? Those sponsors are paying him in addition to the ad revenue that he's getting from YouTube. So imagine how you could still have your current job and create on nights and weekends a social media platform that builds a personal brand so that you can go out there and make money from ads, make money from sponsors, and then ultimately think about how many of those sponsors. I've got a coaching client who will stay nameless that many of you know, who's got a very big YouTube channel, and his YouTube channel is all about health, specifically not like fitness health, but like gut health, mental health, optimization of cognitive thinking and things like that. He's like, man, I'm making good money, about $300,000 a month from all my sponsors and the YouTube ads. I was like, dude, what if instead of taking $20,000, $30,000 a month from multiple sponsors to promote their product on your show, what if you started taking, let's say, $5,000 a month, but asking them for 10, 15% equity in the business, assuming that they're going to sell that business or they can buy you out after 5 years as you help increase their valuation. So if you're like, man, but I don't have a product idea, but I can definitely launch a YouTube show and have an Instagram channel where I'm reviewing things or talking about pop culture or politics or whatever, religion, faith, dating, whatever interests you, if you can consistently build a brand big enough, you not only start making ad revenue, you not only start making sponsorship revenue, but some of your sponsors will end up giving you equity in the business because you will help drive their revenue higher. And then they're either going to sell in the next 3, 5, 10 years, or if they don't sell, you can have a clause in that agreement, like many of my clients who are creators do. And the clause says, after 5 years, you buy me out at whatever that current valuation is, right? And so maybe they're making $5,000 a month instead of $20,000 a month, but they have 10% equity in the business. They drive that business up for the next 5 years by talking about it, promoting it, et cetera. And then at the end of 5 years, if that business is worth, let's say, 5x, 6x, 7x what it was worth 5 years ago. Now they buy him out, and he might make a few $100,000 or a few million on top of that buyout. But if you're not doing that, you're not going to live the new American dream. If you think the American dream is working a job and having that one job that you and your wife are going to have, pay for a house, your vacations, your car, your kids' school, and still have enough savings for retirement, that dream is dead. I don't even think that dream lived for more than, honestly, a decade and a half. It probably was like mid 40s to like early 60s. And that was it. And that was it. Because inflation will always outrun your income unless you have multiple income streams. So find ways to make multiple income streams. Find ways to use social media to build a brand of yourself so that you can start promoting your product, your service, or other people's products and service in exchange for money. Find ways to take equity in different companies that you are promoting so that you can eventually have them buy you out and you can have all this big chunks of money coming in. But if you don't do that, you will not have the lifestyle, you will not have the freedom, and you will not have the most important thing, which is sovereignty. Sovereignty, your ability to do things on your terms without having big daddy government bossing you around. And that is the problem that we live in today. You look at what happened from 2020 on, government has become more oppressive. They're taxing you to death. Inflation is killing you. And here's the funny thing, man. Inflation, just so you know, is a tax on the poor and the middle class. And you're like, well, wait, B, don't you pay more for gas and for groceries and for everything else and travel? And yeah, I do. But also think about all the assets that I own, the homes, the commercial and residential building, the ranch. All of my assets have gone up in value because of inflation. And so I'm able to not only charge more rent, but if I were to sell any of these properties, they've appreciated in value more since 2020 because of inflation. Inflation works for the wealthy, punishes the middle class and the poor. It's sad that it's that way, but that's how it is. And I need you to understand that. I need you to get irritated and upset by that fact so that you can start doing something to put yourself in a position to achieve the new American dream. Anyone can do it. Any goofball out there who has the ability to consistently put out content every day, no matter what, for at least 90 days will end up building some level of audience that will give them the amount of money they need to quit their day job and then have some level of freedom while still making the same amount of money, and then start compounding on top of that to create multiple income streams and use some of that money to start buying a rental property. Maybe you're just going to buy one little condominium, right? Maybe you're going to buy one little condo, and then you're going to buy a house next, and then you're going to buy a tiny little office building somewhere. Before you know it, you've got tenants. Now you're looking to buy a 15, 20, 30, 100 unit apartment complex. Like, this is how it compounds. I've told you the story of my coaching client, Tony Steffen. He was a registered dietitian working at Lifetime Fitness in Detroit, Michigan, trying to sell nutrition plans to gym members, in debt because of his education. And when he hired me, he was like, dude, I want to leave Lifetime Fitness and I want to make good money as a dietitian. I'm like, great, you're going to have to be an online nutrition coach. Roger that. He paid me the money. We got him there. Then he started coaching and consulting other dietitians, teaching them how he won his financial freedom by teaching them how he marketed his online dietitian and nutrition business. As he started now he's got his own nutrition coaching business. He's now coaching and consulting other dietitians, secondary income stream. He's like, dude, I'm making all this money. Should I go buy fancy shit? I was like, nope. Start investing in real estate. Boom, created his third income stream. And today he has gone all in on real estate investment, and he and his wife have created a real estate brokerage. So now they're scaling faster than ever. Millions of dollars in real estate. in just 5 years. From literally a broke young dude in his late 20s. I think he was 28. He's currently 33. Do the math. He's got a YouTube channel. Like everything I just described here, Tony Stephan is doing. Rachel Shear is doing. My coaching client, Gabrielle Lyon, is doing. I'm asking you to do the same. They are no different than you. You are no different than them. I'm doing it in my companies. I'm doing it across my social media platforms. I'm doing it at a high level of scale, and so I want to show you people who are doing it at a more reachable place for you. But it starts with you making the time to win back your freedom. I don't want you to be so pessimistic about life. I don't want you to hate this beautiful country of ours because you misunderstood what the American dream is. The American dream is more attainable today than ever before. I promise you that. But it is not attainable in the way that your parents or your grandparents told you. It is attainable in the way that I just told you. And if you're able to do this, 3 to 5 years from now, you will have an obscene amount of money and freedom and the ability to help others win back their freedom as well. Hey, I want to invite you to Bedros Keuilian Live, taking place September 13th and 14th in beautiful Scottsdale, Arizona. I've got 16 amazing speakers coming out for 2 whole days to pour into you. We're going to talk about making more money, developing meaning and purpose, and of course, higher levels of self-mastery, personal growth, so that you can become the 2.0 version of yourself. I want to see every single one of you win. Go to bedroskeuilian.com, look for BK Live, September 13th, 14th, Scottsdale, Arizona. Register, get your tickets before they all sell out, and I look forward to seeing you there. And until then, remember this, that average is the enemy, that success is your responsibility, and change can take place in an instant if you are willing to flip the switch. I'll see you next time.